Justin Boyd Wilson, the 31st of July 1978, the 24th of August 2015, was a British professional open-wheel racing driver. Just before his death, he was competing part-time in the IndyCar Series, driving the number 25 Honda for Andretti Autosport. Earlier, he competed in the Champ Car Series from 2004 to 2007, scoring 4 wins. He also competed in Formula One in the 2003 season with Minardi and Jaguar and was the winner of the 2001 International Formula 3000 Championship. He was also a winner of the 24 Hours of Daytona. To date, he is the tallest person to have raced in Formula One. On the 23rd of August 2015, Wilson suffered a traumatic brain injury in an accident at the Pocono Raceway, which caused his death the following day. Brought up in the tiny hamlet of Woodall, near Harthill, South Yorkshire, Wilson began racing karts in 1987. During the mid-1990s, he spent several years in Formula Vauxhall with Paul Stewart Racing before earning international attention when he won the inaugural Formula Palmer Audi championship with 9 race wins. In 1998, he was a finalist in the McLaren Autosport BRDC Young Driver of the Year award. A year later, he graduated to the FIA International Formula 3000 Championship and won the championship in 2001, setting a record-winning margin in the process. Despite his success, his height proved a liability, and prevented him from securing a Formula One drive for 2002. He found a drive in the Telefonica World Series by Nissan, where he continued his winning ways with race victories at Interlagos and Valencia. Wilson also tested for the Minardi Formula One team, but although regular driver Alex Yoong was replaced for 2 rounds, Wilson was unable to race the car due to his height. Formula One, 2003. For 2003, Minardi designed the car around Wilson's 6 feet 4 in, 1.93 meters, frame and signed him up to race. The car was off the pace, but Wilson performed favorably against his more experienced teammate, Joseph Verstappen. He switched to Jaguar Racing to replace Antonio Pizzonia for the last 5 races of the season, and scored his first championship point at the United States Grand Prix. However, Wilson did not retain his position with Jaguar Racing, because Ford was not prepared to pour unlimited funds into Formula One and advised the team that they would have to take on a paying driver. Christian Klein, who was funded by Austrian drink company Red Bull, and who had tested for Jaguar in November 2003, was able to bring sponsorship and thus secure a driver's seat for 2004 Champ Car, 2004 to 2007. At the beginning of 2004, Wilson joined the Champ Car World Series with Mijak Conquest Racing. He qualified as high as 2nd in his rookie season and finished the year in 11th place in the standings. In addition to Champ Cars, Wilson also raced at the famous 24 Hours of Le Mans endurance race, sharing the racing for Holland Dome Jades 101 with Tom Carreer and Ralph Furman, personally setting the 5th fastest lap. In 2005, Wilson moved to the Rousport team to partner with AJ Allmendinger. He won his first Champ Car race at Toronto. Continuing with his success in Canada, Wilson finished 3rd at Montreal, then rounded off the year with a victory from pole in the final race of the season at the Mexico City circuit. Wilson finished the season in 3rd place in the drivers' standings behind series champion Sebastian Buess and 2nd place Toriol Servia. Wilson stayed with Rousport for the 2006 season, and finished 2nd in the series. On the 19th of October 2006, in the Friday qualifying for the Surfers Paradise race, Wilson hit a small barrier of tires in a chicane. When the front wheels lurched sideways after the impact, the steering wheel spun sharply in Wilson's hands and broke a small bone in his right wrist. For 2007, Wilson was signed on a multi-year contract with Sports, a merger of his former team and Rocket Sports. He finished 2nd in the championship, preceding the European rounds of the championship. Zolder, Belgium. Anderson, Holland. Sports announced their separation back into Rousport and Rocket Sports. Wilson signed for reigning Champ Car champions Newman/Hus/Lanigan Racing for 2008, replacing Sebastian Buess. The Champ Car Series merged with the Indy Racing League for 2008, meaning that Wilson and teammate Graham Rahal competed in the IndyCar Series. Wilson qualified on pole for the Long Beach Grand Prix and second at Edmonton. Wilson won his first race for NHLR and took his maiden IndyCar Series win at the Detroit Indy Grand Prix in late August, moving up from fourth at the start to second through pit stops before gaining the lead when Helio Castroneves was penalized for blocking. However, like many drivers switching from the road and street course-based Champ Car Series, he was not yet competitive in the series oval races. At the end of the points-scoring races of the season, Wilson placed 11th in the overall standings and finished second in the Bombardier Rookie of the Year standings. He missed out by just 4 points from Hideki Muta of the long-established IndyCar Series Andretti Green Racing Team. He was the best placed of the so-called transition drivers without any significant oval racing history. Oriol Servia finished higher but had enough oval racing experience in both the IRL and Champ Car to not be deemed rookie. Wilson agreed to drive for Dale Coyne Racing in 2009, after losing his ride at Newman/Lanigan Racing. Wilson qualified second for the 2009 Honda Grand Prix of St. Petersburg to start the season, which is Coyne's best qualifying result in the team's 23-year history. He finished the race in third position, set the fastest lap of the race and led the most laps. Wilson was leading before a late race caution came out. Eventual race winner Ian Briscoe passed him on the restart. On the 5th of July 2009, Wilson scored his second IndyCar Series win, and Dale Coyne's first victory as an owner in his team's 23-year history. At the 2009 Camping World Grand Prix at the Glen, Wilson again qualified second, only behind Briscoe, who set a new track record twice over the course of qualifying. Because Dario Franchitti crashed early in the final round of qualifying, Wilson was able to save a set of Firestone's alternate compound tires, which are designed to make the car faster, but also wear out more quickly. Wilson was the fastest driver in final practice. In the race itself, Wilson attempted to pass Briscoe on the second lap, but was unsuccessful. 2 laps later, he made the pass stick, leading the first of 49 laps he spent in front. With 6 laps remaining in the 60-lap event, a full course caution came out, resulting in the same setup as St. Petersburg, Wilson leading late, with Briscoe right behind him. This time, however, Wilson retained the lead, stretching it to 4.9 seconds by the end of the race. Wilson took part in the 2010 running of the Daytona 24 Hours race. This time he was racing for Chip Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates in the Telmex Target-sponsored 01 Riley BMW prototype. Wilson shared the car with Max Papis, Scott Pruitt and Memo Rojas. The car finished the race on the lead lap in second place. During the race, in an interview with Speed TV, Wilson confirmed he was still working on a drive in the 2010 IndyCar season, saying he hoped to have a deal arranged in the next few weeks. On the 2nd of February 2010, it was announced that Wilson would be joining Dreyer and Rainbold Racing for the 2010 IndyCar season. He drove the number 22 Z-Line design-sponsored car and was partnered by Mike Conway. For the opening race in Brazil, they were joined by Ana Beatriz. For the 94th running of the Indianapolis 500, the team was expanded to run 4 cars for Thomas Sector and Ana Beatriz. Wilson began the season well in the road and street courses, often running near the front, finishing second in both the Honda Grand Prix of St. Petersburg and the Long Beach Grand Prix. He ran in the lead towards the end of the Indy 500, setting the fastest out lap of all the drivers during the race. After Conway was sidelined for an accident in the closing stages of the Indy 500, Wilson was partnered by Thomas Sector, Graham Rahal and Paul Tracy. It was announced that he would be joined by J.R. Hildebrand, who made his IndyCar debut at Mid-Ohio. Wilson won the pole in the Toronto event but fell to 7th in the race. Wilson finished the season 11th in points. On the 11th of November 2010, Dreyer and Rainbold announced that Wilson would return for a second season. Wilson was having a difficult season, but had just captured a season-best finish of 5th at Edmonton when he injured his back when his car was launched into the air after running off course at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course during a practice session. He was replaced by 4 different drivers in the car for the remaining races. In January 2012, Dale Coyne Racing revealed that they had signed Wilson for the 2012 season. Wilson captured the team's first and his first oval victory at Texas Motor Speedway, although unapproved bodywork was found on Wilson's car during post-race inspection. The win was allowed to stand, with Wilson being docked 5 points and the team being fined. The result would be by far his best of the season and he finished 15th in points. In 2013, Wilson returned to the team. He finished on the podium 4 times and finished 6th in the championship, his best IndyCar Series points result since the merger with Champ Car. Wilson also captured his best career Indy 500 finish of 5th in the 2013 race. In 2014, Wilson again returned to the Coyne team, but failed to reach the podium and finished 15th in points. Wilson was a free agent at the beginning of the 2015 IndyCar Series season when Andretti Autosport announced that they had signed him to compete with them in the Grand Prix of Indianapolis and 2015 Indianapolis 500. After those races, Wilson was again on the sidelines until the 7th of July 2015 when Andretti announced that Wilson would compete in the final 5 races of the season with the team. Wilson finished on the podium in 2nd at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Racing. In 2006, Wilson took part in the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona event for the first time in his career, racing for the Michael Shank Racing team in a Lexus-powered Riley and Scott Daytona prototype chassis. Teaming up with Champ Car teammate A.J. Allmendinger, Oswaldo Negri and Mark Patterson, the car made it to the checkered flag in 2nd place. In 2008, Wilson again drove in the Rolex Daytona 24 Hours race for Michael Shank Racing, this time in a Ford-powered Riley prototype chassis. He shared the number 60 car with Oswaldo Negri, Mark Patterson and Graham Rahal. They finished the race in 6th position and were the highest-placed Ford-powered car. 24. On 29th of January 2012, Wilson and co-drivers A.J. Allmendinger, Oswaldo Negri and John P. won the 50th Rolex 24 at Daytona, driving the number 60 Michael Shank Racing Riley MKXXVI Ford Daytona prototype. It was his first Rolex 24 win. Wilson returned to the podium with Michael Shank Racing at Daytona in 2013 after he and co-drivers John Pugh, Oz Negri, Marcos Ambrose, and A.J. Allmendinger recovered from being several laps down to finish 3rd in the race. Investment program. Wilson struggled to raise the money needed to get a Formula One seat with the Minardi team in 2003, so his management team developed a program that gave investors the opportunity to support Wilson's career by buying shares in him to the public to raise the £1.2 million needed. The program was supported by television commentator Murray Walker amongst others and ended up being oversubscribed. There are nearly 900 shareholders, each of whom invested a minimum of £500. Wilson was formerly managed by former Grand Prix driver Jonathan Palmer. Personal life. Wilson married girlfriend Julia in Sheffield, England on the 29th of December 2006. The couple resided in Northampton, England and in Longmont, Colorado. Their first child, Jane Louise, was born on the 12th of April 2008 in Lafayette, Colorado, and Jessica Lynn was born on the 12th of January 2010. Wilson's younger brother, Stefan, is also a racing driver. In 2009, Stefan joined the Indy Lights series for its street and road course events, the support series to IndyCar. Stefan made his first IndyCar start in the 2013 Grand Prix of Baltimore driving alongside Justin for Dale Coyne Racing. It was the first time brothers had raced in IndyCar as teammates since Gary Bettenhausen and Tony Bettenhausen, Jr. in 1983. Death. Wilson was fatally injured in an accident during the ABC Supply 500 at Pocono Raceway on the 23rd of August 2015. Race leader Sage Karam crashed late in the race, sending debris airborne. The nose cone from Karam's crashed car hit Wilson's helmet as he drove through the accident scene, and Wilson's car immediately veered left into the inside wall. Wilson was extricated from his car and airlifted to Lehigh Valley Hospital in Allentown. He was subsequently reported to be in a coma, and died the following day. Tributes from the motorsport world included Nigel Mansell, Jenson Button and Dario Franchitti.